In Season 1, one of the storyline centers around some nurses who were killed in the murder house. One of the show's creator Ryan Murphy said that the nurses' murders are inspired by the Richard Speck massacre in 1966. Richard Speck raped one and tortured and murdered 8 student nurses from South Chicago Community Hospital on the night of July 13 into the early morning hours of July 14, 1966. He was convicted and sentenced to death, but the sentence was later overturned due to issues with jury selection in his trial. He later died of a heart attack in 1991 after serving 25 years of his life sentence. One of the darkest and chilling characters from American Horror Story is Madame Delphine LaLaurie, who was portrayed by Kathy Bates and based on real-life LaLaurie, who was a serial killer who tortured and murdered slaves in her household. Marie Delphine McCarty, or more commonly known as Madame LaLaurie, after her third marriage. LaLaurie was a prominent New Orleans socialite in the 1800s and rich slave owner, but behind closed doors she was cruel. It was discovered that she brutally tortured her slaves and often killed them. Bound slaves in her attic was found, and evidence of violent abuse showed after firefighters responded to a fire at her Royal Street mansion. LaLaurie's house was subsequently sacked by an outraged mob of New Orleans citizens. She escaped to France with her family and later died at the age of 62 on December 7, 1849 in France. Appearing in a couple of episodes and seasons of American Horror Story and Covenant Apocalypse. Papa Legba, who is based on the Loa and Haitian Vodou, who serves as the intermediary between the Loa and humanity. He stands at a spiritual crossroads and gives or denies permission to speak with the spirits of Guinea. In the series the character does the same, connecting the witches to the spirits in the next life. James March, the owner of the Hotel Cortez and main spirit of Season 5, is based on the very real and notorious serial killer of the 1890s, H.H. Holmes. In the show, March owned a hotel and used his business as a way to trap, murder, and hide the bodies of countless women just like Holmes did. Herman Webster Mudgett, or better known as Dr. Henry Howard Holmes, was a serial killer, often referred to as America's first serial killer. Holmes has claimed to have murdered 27, though it is speculated that he may have killed as many as 200 people, but he was convicted and sentenced to death for only one murder. The victims were killed in a mixed-use building which he owned in Chicago, called the World's Fair Hotel or the Murder Castle. The murderer who inspired Twisty the Clown did far worse than his fictional character. Inspired by John Wayne Gacy, who is also known as Pogo the Clown. Between 1972 and 1978, he raped and killed at least 33 young men. He would dress up as a clown and perform at children's hospital and charitable events. He would lure a victim to his home, dupe him into donning handcuffs on the pretext of demonstrating a magic trick, then rape and torture his captive before killing him by either asphyxiation or strangulation with a garrote. His conviction for 33 murders was the most by one individual in United States history at the time, and he was sentenced to death on March 13, 1980. He was executed by lethal injection on May 10, 1994.